Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review. And I'm here today to talk to you about Creamerie Season 1, the Rundown Review. This is a very interesting show. It's very intriguing. I felt myself like when I first watched like I said, the first episode, I didn't know what kind of direction this show was gonna go in, and I was about to give it up until that very end scene, that got me interested. Then I started watching the rest, and then it's kind of hard to explain. Like, okay, Creamery, like I said before, it's a show where 8 years ago, the male population died off through some kind of virus. Don't know how, don't know what. But all the men are dead. Women now rule the world. And it's a new world order, or as I like to call it, a new woman order. And things have changed a lot. They're not allowed to say the word. Well, okay, this setting takes place in New Zealand. Now, I said before in my other video, this was the second New Zealand show I watched. I made a mistake. This is actually the third. The second one I watched was Filthy Rich. I forgot I even reviewed that on my channel. Anyway, so the setting is in New Zealand, and there's a group called Wellness that runs pretty much like that whole like town and stuff. And so this one lady rules it, and she won't let nobody say male, boy, men, God, nothing like that. You have to say, oh my goddess and everything. It's a huge feminist type place. They're all taught to like work, care for one another, woman type stuff. Like, just like don't be ashamed. You're now the strongest person in the world because there are no men and stuff like that. Y'all like dominant. It's just like a lot of feminist type stuff. Words of encouragement to help build their self-esteem. They look at everything as a blessing, childbirth, their period, stuff like that, their womanhood, And so when it comes to them, like I said before, there's a lottery because they have a sperm bank from all the sperm that was left over before in them sperm banks, and only certain select women can have it. Not just anybody, because they just want the most perfect woman there is, make the most perfect specimen to repopulate the earth. Now, male babies die within the womb and are like, they have miscarriages. Now, the show revolves around three women. They are all friends. There is Jamie, who's kind of like the main person. There's Alex, who is her stepsister. And then there is Pip, who is their friend. Pip is a strong feminist. She works for wellness. She's the goofball, the dopey, shy one and everything. Alex is more the tougher one. She hates wellness with a passion because they lobotomized her mom, all because her mom said there were men still left in the world and nobody believed her. Then there's Jamie, a woman with severe PTSD. She had a son, she had a husband, they are now gone. She yearns for that, like, to have them back. And it's very difficult for her to even have a baby, like, in general. So she gets selected for the sperm bank thing. Now, Jamie's thing also is that she goes to a brothel. When she goes there, she dresses the woman up as her dead husband. She makes them wear a red flannel shirt. This is something she wears in every episode. It belonged to her husband. And so, well, of course, with no men around, many of the women are now like lesbians and stuff. But there are still some who have just never done anything like of sexual nature and stuff. Pip is one of those people. And then, so at the end, so one thing they do is that when you get out of line, they lobotomize you. That's what wellness does. But then they also have these little drug pill thing, pellets, that they shoot in the back of your neck. Alex has been in trouble many times, and she gets in trouble on purpose so that she can cut the drug out and then give it to her mom because her mom lobotomized, and she wants her mom to feel like some type of like drug relief. Now, towards the end of that episode, Pip and Alex run over somebody with the car. They don't know who. It turns out to be a man. This man is Robert. Somehow he has survived. Now, with every plague, or every like biological pathogen, um, out there, there's always gonna be like some immunities to survival and stuff. And so he was one of those people. He doesn't know how he survived, but his immune system is up high. So, and like I said before in another episode, Jamie wanted his sperm, and because he doesn't want to give it, so Pip forces him to give it in a cup. They won't actually do him. Now, I've already talked about that. Let's get to the third and all episode, because it's only 6 episodes. So, in the third episode, it's a fairly basic episode. Alex starts to bond with him, drink with him. She's asking him a bunch of questions. She gets drunk, to the point where she passes out, and then he tries to make an escape. He has to wear one of their girl outfits. He's trying his best to run, but he's kind of drained from Alex. Nah, but Pip taking like his juices. And so like um, but then he falls in cow manure, so he goes back to the barn. Alex is still drunk. She thought he tried to escape, but he played off like he didn't. So he wants to get to this facility. He was with a friend of his. His friend, see, there are still men left around, but there aren't that many, and they're being hunted down by a bounty hunter. This woman is looking for him. He has a chip with a location on it. And so, like, he wants to go there because he heard there are tons of other men there. So, while the women are all doing their thing, Pip is there, has to like babysit him, and she's very rude and forthcoming to him because she's a feminist. He's a man. She feels that the world was better without them. That's what she's been brainwashed to learn, and so like she tells like Jamie and everything, you're gonna need more juices and everything if you want to get like pregnant and stuff. So she goes back to him, and she demands more. Now, I did mention this last time. I just put it in like the little text description, but I have a huge problem with that. Them forcing him to give up his sperm to father a child he doesn't want to father. That is so wrong on like so many levels. And I get they want to repopulate the world, but there are sperm banks for that. Well, of course, they're not allowed to get to. But the fact that they had to force that out of him is just wrong on so many levels. And so she literally demands it, and he's all like, I'll give you more, but I have to like shower and all this other stuff and all this other crap. So he goes and he takes a shower. She has to watch him, and she watches him. She is aroused because she has never really seen that in over 8 years and stuff. And so like he gives her more, and she gives it to Jamie. Jamie's about to insert it into herself with a turkey baster, but then see, in the episode earlier, she was talking to this woman, and this woman who works at a candy shop yearns to have a child, but she's not young enough to be part of the lottery, because they don't want certain women of certain ages and stuff. After overhearing this, when Jamie's about to insert herself, she decides, what? Since she has a hard time producing a child, she's gonna help this woman out. They don't. So she leaves this woman the dude's sperm and everything, so that the lady can use, and she leaves a note. She doesn't want to be seen and all that other stuff. Now, one thing I've said before about this show is a drama comedy, and it's a dark show. My problem with this show is the comedy. The jokes do not always land, especially in those first 2 episodes. I would prefer that if it was just a straightforward post-apocalyptic drama and not so much the comedy. However, the comedy does get better by the 4th episode, the 4th and the 5th one, a little in the 3rd, and kind of in the 6th. I have a huge problem with the 6th episode. I have a huge problem with the 6th episode. I have a major problem with the 6th episode. The 6th episode just ruined everything for me, because like I said before, this is an intriguing show, and it started building up. Now, it does leave off on a cliffhanger, but the cliffhanger don't make too much all that sense. It kind of does, and it kind of doesn't. So anyway, so So the girl's gonna help him get to this location. And then we see the bounty hunter hot on his trail. So in the fourth episode is probably like my all-time favorite. It is hilarious beyond belief. So all of the jokes land perfectly in the fourth episode. So they go to like this place, or they're trying to like take him to where they want to go. But I think they take him to like a underground bunker. And I think they do take him to the place, but then they end up not letting him go because something happened. The bounty hunter shows up, and so the bounty hunter has this huge rifle, so they hightail it out of there. However, Pip, being Pip, she wants to follow the safety guideline rules of the road and everything. And so there's like these arrows. She's like, I have to follow the arrow. So it's kind of like a cul-de-sac type thing. And she's just driving around in a circle because that's the way the arrows say. And they're like, Pip, this woman has a rifle. She is going to shoot us. Because, see, they saw her when he went to go take a piss. But then Alex was pissing. Alex was peeing standing up. He thinks she has a you-know-what. I have no idea because they won't show female nudity on this show. Only male. She could have had an implant because, like transgender men, they get implants, like a shillelagh implant, just like a woman will get like boob implants and stuff. So maybe it's that. She said she has a very unique, strong pelvis. I have no idea. But I don't know. They really didn't go into much detail. So then, like I said, they're trying to escape this woman. Well, they finally hightail it on out of there. But there's a problem. There's a parade going on, a festival, if you will. It's a festival that celebrates a woman's period. Yeah, they do. And so while they're there, they're running from like the bounty hunter person, but they split up by mistake. Everybody's going in a different direction. Alex is with Robert, or Bobby, what his name is. And so she dresses him up as like the mascot. This uterus vagina looking thing. It's hilarious. He's in there, you can't see his face. He's just running around like an idiot. It's hilarious. Jamie gets distracted because she thinks she sees her husband. Because she has PTSD, she is constantly seeing him. So she gets on the ride that he was on, but he's not there. It's a little girl. And the little girl talking about how she's can't wait to have like kids of her own and everything. And Jamie's all like, you're too young to be thinking about that. She's all like, oh, but this is what you're supposed to do, and it's joyful and blah 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 blah. So Jamie's just pretty much just like, shut up. But then Jamie starts throwing up, and the little girl's all like, congratulations, you're pregnant. She's all like, I can't be, and everything. And so the only person's sperm she used was Bobby's and everything. So she did use some before she gave it to that lady. And so she's constantly throwing up. And Alex and Bobby are like constantly running from like the bounty hunter person. Now, Pip, on the other hand, well, no, Alex ends up losing Bobby. And then so she sees the security guard lady that she always quickly clacking with. So she can't be seen because she's supposed to be drugged. Then Alex's mom shows up, who's lobotomized, because they let everybody go to this thing. Her mom kind of recognizes her and grabs her, distracts her, and Bobby gets like away from her and stuff, being pursued by the bounty hunter. So then Pip, she goes into this one room because she's trying to hide from somebody. The bounty hunter sees her. So when she goes in there, it's with the wellness person, the wellness boss lady, her boss. Her boss knows that she has a man in her house and everything. And she tells Pip, we can make everything go back the way it was. All you have to do is give that man up and everything. And so, because she knew, because what's her name? I forgot, I think her name was Michelle. She kind of suspected that something was there when she was at that place. I talked about it in the last episode. Anyway, so she tells Pip, things go back the way they were and everything. And, just give him up so you and your friends won't have to be in trouble and all that other stuff. So they go into like this fun house full of mirrors. And it's the most hilarious thing because they're constantly getting distracted. They keep running in one direction and they run into a mirror. And so Pip is trying to like help them out and everything, and they manage to like escape the bounty hunter for a short period of time, but she catches up with them. She kicks Bobby in the balls, and then like she drugs him, and then she puts him in the back of the truck and drive off. Jamie is not gonna let him go. She runs after the truck and jumps in the back of it. So Pip and Alex, they're on high pursuit, but Pip is stupid and just following the rules of the road. I can't speed and all this other stuff. Pip, I swear to God about Pip. I swear to God about Pip. So then when the woman takes him to like a location, an abandoned building, and Jamie's trying to be like so tough and like fight the lady off. She has a shovel, but then she ends up like throwing the shovel on the ground, and she takes like these tranquilizer darts and she starts throwing them at the woman and everything. And then she finally hits her with one. It's a hilarious scene. And so she gets Bobby and they get on out of there. And they go hide somewhere. Somehow Pip and Alice end up finding them. And so, like, as they're driving, something happens and they, oh, now I remember, Pip betrays them. She drives them to wellness. I could not believe she actually went along with that. They are all furious at Pip. So Jamie and Alex, they're taken as prisoner. Bobby's taken definitely as prisoner, and Pip is treated like a goddess. The head lady has ordered for Jamie and Alex to be lobotomized. Pip does not know this. Bobby, on the other hand, she feeds him and embarrasses him. She, I couldn't believe what I saw. So the lady tells Pip, I want you to do him right in front of everybody. And Pip is just kind of like, what? Because she's never done nothing like that, and she doesn't want to force herself on him. And he doesn't want that either. So then the most uncomfortable thing happened. The head lady assaults Bobby by like pulling his pants down and like giving him a hand job to make him hard. And she forces Pip to get on top of him and do him. As Pip is about to, Pip does get on top of him, but she does not want to. The lady threatens to kill Alex and Jamie if she doesn't. As soon as Pip's about to do that, she starts cussing the lady out and stands up to her. As Pip is being taken away, the lobotomization procedure has already begun, and they start drilling into Alex's skull. But they only go about, a centimeter or so before it's stopped. And the security guard that likes her stopped there. She brought Pip in. And so the lady's all like, I have to finish this procedure. So then next thing you know, the security guard lady takes her drug gun and she shoots both like the surgeons in the back of the neck. And so then she helps them all like escape. So she said, make it look like they attacked her. So Pip was gonna shoot the security guard lady, but Alex decides to do it. And those two finally, like, they don't tell each other they love each other. They do care for each other a lot. But it was just like one of those oh my god type thing, because like Alex is slightly messed up now because of it. Her arm keeps twitching and everything now. I just couldn't believe it. They showed like the drill go into her skull and stuff. So they make their way out of there. And so when they leave the facility, they have to go on foot. Now, granted, Pip and Jamie are only wearing like medical gowns and they're barefooted. And Pip's the only one wearing like an actual outfit. They managed to make their way into an abandoned like shed where they're able to find like some pants and some boots and stuff like that. They're furious at Pip. And Pip is like apologizing profusely for them to forgive her. But they are just like infuriated with her and everything. And they talk about how they have to like rescue Bobby somehow. So they devise a plan. They get that little cow like taser thing from the shed. Somehow they knew that the boss lady and Bobby would be on the road at a certain location. I don't know how, but they intercept the car and she tases the woman. Now the woman's pregnant, so they have to keep reminding Pip, don't tase her too much because she's pregnant. They tell Bobby to come on. He's like, no, I don't want to go nowhere with Pip. Because he's really upset about what happened to him. Because for 8 years he's been in hiding, and now he's been everything. He's been drugged, he's been beaten, he's been assaulted, like everything. And so like Pip is like apologizing, he doesn't care. And so at some point, the woman wakes up and she has a gun on them. Now, in the New World Order, there are no more guns. Women have gotten rid of them. And so Alice is all like, how do you have a gun? And they're all been like destroyed. And she's all like, oh, there's lots of things in wellness you don't know. I should have paid more attention to that. Because the sixth episode revealed a lot. And so, like, she's about to shoot, like, Bobby, or at least they think he's about to get shot. So they get all like in front of him. And so they're all like, you can't shoot us all, and the bullet and hit him and everything. So Pip ends up biting the woman and they escape. They don't knock, they zap her a little bit more, but they don't knock her out. And so like they try to make their way like and flee, but Bobby has already left. So they know exactly where he's gonna go. He's gonna go back to that facility. He goes back there and like he gets into the building, and the building has like security cameras. It has a door that's open electronically and everything. And I'm just thinking to myself, and then when he's in there, he has to whisper and everything. I don't know why. If he's there with a bunch of men, they should be like happy and stuff, right? So then, like, the girls end up meeting him there. He tells them, y'all have to leave. Y'all not supposed to be here. Then the bounty hunter shows up. And so it's revealed the bounty hunter is not even trying to kill him. She used tranquilizer darts on him because she's been hired to rescue him. When she tells him this facility is the real enemy. Next thing you know, gas comes underneath the door. They all try to make it to the ventilation system as they're about to pass out. They all make it except for the bounty hunter, but she reveals to Alex she knew her mom because she has the same markings on her arm as Alex's mom. Now, so here's the thing: when you're lobotomized, they put these like tattoo marks on your arm that like I guess like identify you, how many like procedures you had or something. It's not really revealed. That's what I'm assuming. Now, the bounty hunter, I noticed when she was at the festival, she was acting weird. She acts almost like she's a zombie and everything. And she has all these bruises and scars on her. I believe since she has those marks on her, she was lobotomized, but somehow regained like out of her like her mind somehow. Either that or like just she was at the facility and as a prisoner and escaped or something. But she's always kind of loopy in the head and everything. Like when the lady gave her a candy apple thing, she just kind of looked at it like she kind of knew what it was, but didn't, and it was kind of like weird. So they're in the vents and they're trying to get out, but he gets stuck. So in order to get him out, they have to wiggle himself loose, and then it collapses. Next thing you know, when it collapses, they're in a room. Now this is the part that really disturbed me. And then when you get to the end, it disturbs me more. They're in a room with a bunch of men. These men are all strapped to a chair. They are all naked, except for their underwear. On top of their you-know-whats is a giant tube that is going up and down, draining them of their sperm as they watch porn. I have never seen male porn before. I have never seen male porn with like a toy, a machine, nothing like that. After watching this part in this episode, I got a glimpse of what it looks like. It was disturbing. There's about 5 men to a chair. They're all in agony. It was disturbing and disgusting and everything. It was just nasty. And so they don't know what the world's going on. And then all of a sudden, some guards come in, female guards, along with the wellness boss lady. And they're all like, what is this? And they're also there with the doctor lady. As the wellness lady's about to explain, the doctor lady makes her stop. And then they argue a little bit. This is more of that dumb comedy crap I was telling you about. So then she finally tells them what's going on. They're getting fresh sperm from these men so that when their banks run out, they can use this to repopulate. And then people will be in need of wellness. The whole city that they live in, the whole country, New Zealand, and maybe the world. And then, next thing you know, the biggest, craziest thing happened. The big twist. So wellness has these men like stored someplace, right? And so I figured they were using them from the sperm because they had to do like the sperm banks and stuff. But the shocker, the twist is the person who created this facility. It's a man, not just any man. Jamie's so-called dead husband, Alex's stepbrother. So, because, yeah, that's how they're related and stuff, Alex and Jamie, is through this dude. He comes in, big smiles, he's making out with the boss lady from Wellness. Turns out he knows Bobby. He gave Bobby a fake name. Bobby thought he was dead. He is the one who told Bobby of that place. That's how they knew Bobby would eventually show up there. Jamie is distraught. Alex cannot believe what she sees. And Bobby is infuriated. He tries to strangle them. And so, yeah, is the crazy twist. And that's what bugs me about this series. Everything was going interesting and good until this part. It's like, why? Why is Jamie's husband, who is the brother of Alex, the one in charge of this whole thing? It would have made more sense if it was the wellness lady. But no, it's him. So why would he betray the male race? What kind of deal did he make? And he must have been the one who impregnated the boss lady. So Alex supposed like niece is in there, um, and like Jamie's like stepchild, and it's just like, I get it. They wanted to be big and bold towards the end, so you'd be like, oh my god, come back for season 2 if they get a season 2, or oh my god, give us a season 2. But it was just kind of like over the top as to why it was him. You know what I'm saying? It would have been more interesting if it was Pip's idea, and Pip is the real person in charge. And and instead of being a bumbling idiot, she's actually very confident. That would have been a cool twist ending that could have got them picked up. I have no idea if it's gonna get picked up or not. If it does, I don't know if I want to watch season 2. All because of that ending. It was just a little too much to the dead husband being the one in charge and everything. Also, the comedy kind of needs to go. Yeah, episode 4 was hilarious, and every episode of that was hilarious, but it's unwanted. You know what I'm saying? It's like it takes you out the moment. That's the problem I have with it. All in all, this is an interesting show. It needs more episodes. Definitely 6 is not enough. There are a couple of filler episodes. Why are you gonna have a filler episode and there's only 6? But it does get straight to the point towards 4, 5, and 6 and stuff. But no, 4 was kind of a filler. But 5 and 6, so it's kind of like 1, 2, 4. No, wait, 1, 2, 5, 6 are the ones that are like the strongest episodes, and where things get going. But the other 2 are just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, with only 6 episodes, you can't waste time with filler, and you can't waste time with comedy and everything. I mean, I respect them. They want to do like a drama, post-apocalyptic comedy, so it won't be too dark. But this could have been a very, very, very strong, powerful show if it just would have been written right. There are some inconsistencies. There are some plot armor type stuff. It's kind of like, oh, that's convenient. Like, that just so-called happened when you needed it to happen, I didn't really like that. But it would have been interesting to see more in depth of how these women feel about not having kids. Just Jamie and that one lady alone, it was enough, but I would have liked to see more. You know what I'm saying? I want to see more how people feel about wellness, because everybody seems to be brainwashed to the point where they just like love it and everything. And then when some of the employees see the boss lady going like nuts on people, then it's kind of like they need to question that, you know what I'm saying? But they're too afraid. And then the boss lady towards the end with the doctor lady is like, who is in charge, the doctor lady or the boss lady? And when they threw some dumb comedy mess, so it was kind of like it took me out of that moment, you know what I'm saying? But all in all, this is a very intriguing show. It's on Hulu. So far, they've only had one season. Um, and I love the fact that like the main cast members are like people of color. Like that's awesome. You know what I'm saying? How often you see like an Asian like cast show? You know, now there are other races in there because it is New Zealand, but the three main ones are like Asian and stuff. Like if this was America, you would have never saw that a couple of years back. Probably now, but not even so much with Asian. Like you really don't see too many Asian-led shows except for like Kung Fu that's on the CW and stuff. Also, with Jamie's husband being the one who's really in charge of that facility and everything, doing that to those men that are survivors, then it just makes men look terrible again. Like the one interesting thing that I've said before because of the show Sliders, the weaker sex episode, is that women really are just like men. They are just as corrupt as men. Power, greed, money makes them that way. A lot of people keep saying if men were to die and women just take over the world, then women will like make the world a better place. Or if women be in control while men be second class citizens, things will be better. It won't, because as soon as those women start to get power and greedy, they turn corrupt. And so that's how this show was leading in that direction, like with the boss lady from Wellness. She is very corrupt. She gets what she wants with an iron fist. Until now, it's revealed, oh, it's a man doing all this. So it's like, great, now you're making men look bad again and everything. And that could have been like a real cool teaching moment, similar to how that show Sliders taught me back in the 90s and stuff. And the people who created the show are the three actresses themselves, the main cast. They wrote a lot, they produced, executive produced all that good stuff. And that's really cool. You know, it's like they doing things on their own and making things happen. That is great. I love seeing that in Hollywood. There was an actress in America who did the very same thing, only until she messed up and she got Me Too'd by a female actress, and that led her show to get canceled. And so when it comes to these three women, I gotta give them props. Like I'm very proud. You know, they did make a very intriguing show. It just, I don't know, there's some certain things here and there I wish could have been tighter or like written differently. And of course, the comedy being dropped and stuff. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.